Hello, I'm Ben Gibbs, co-founder and CEO of Ready Robotics. Welcome to the Forge OS 5 Launchpad. Today, we'll be showing you what we've built and why we believe a software platform like Forge OS 5 is the critical next step in the robotics industry. Like many robotics companies, when we first started, we built the first iteration of our product on a UR cobot. Universal Robots demonstrated the value of ease of use, both for end users programming tasks and for developers like us creating new products. That ease of use is why UR is so successful today. But what if UR's hardware doesn't meet your requirements? Well, the good news is there are many other robots and cobots available on the market today. The bad news is when you switch platforms, you have to learn an entirely new interface and an entirely new programming language. But what if you didn't have to? This is the robot control panel for Forge OS 5. It enables me to control this UR cobot in real time. Using the exact same robot control panel, I can control this Fanuc cobot, again, in real time. That is the power of what we've created. That is the power of Forge OS 5. And it's not just limited to cobots. This is a Kawasaki RS-07 industrial robot. It's powered by Forge OS 5. Just like those cobots, I can control this in real time. This is an Epson industrial robot. I can control this also in real time. No post-processors, no need to touch the OEM teach pendant, one interface. And it's not just limited to robots and cobots. I can control peripherals and other automation hardware as well. This is a shunt gripper mounted on an ABB robot. In the device control panel, I can actuate it and control it and all of the other hardware in the robot cell. That is the power of Forge OS 5. It enables you to pick the right robot for the job, like this Stably. And it enables you to pick the right tooling for the job as well. Grippers, tooling, sensors, pneumatics, and more, all controllable through the same set of interfaces. This is the power of Forge OS 5. Not only can end users more easily program automation tasks, but using a common set of APIs, anyone can create their own products and solutions on top of Forge OS. Today, we support many major brands and can power robots both small and large, like this 710 IC50 from Fanuc. All in real time, no post-processors, no bypassing the robot controllers, no gimmicks. We can control hundreds of robots and collaborative arms from major brands, and this is just the beginning. Soon, we'll be integrating robots from other players like Nachi and Yamaha, as well as form factors like this Scara arm. The robotics industry needs a software platform that works with different hardware, much like Windows did for the PC industry and Android did for the smartphone industry. These sort of open platforms can help ignite innovation and enable solutions and products that scale across the entire industry. This is how we go from hundreds of thousands of robot arms sold to millions. Forge OS 5 is the platform for building automation solutions. We invite OEMs, integrators, machine builders, and developers to create their own solutions on top of Forge OS 5. Today, we'll be showing you more of the capabilities of Forge OS 5 and some of the apps we've built already, as well as hearing from several of our customers and partners already using our software.
I've been working in the automation industry and metal cutting for about the last 30 years. Ready gives you the ability to be able to program much in the same manner of CAD programming systems are. By implementing Forge operating software and learning how to program, first off, it's extremely easy, but second, it carries you across a universal platform of different brands. And it makes it simple enough that a lot of the end users can do the integration themselves. They don't have to go through integrators like Remotion.
We have considered automation many times over the past 10 years, but never found the right fit. Typically, our CNC department is high mix, low volume. With so many part numbers and no experience with robots, it was difficult to program them quickly. When David introduced me to the Forge OS, I knew we had definitely found our solution to automation. We would finally be able to roll out robots like we wanted to. Programming with Forge OS is easy and efficient. We were able to pick, place, and machine parts within hours of having the robot on our floor.
OEM Partners has been in business for over 70 years and provides solutions for custom automation, build-to-print, and contract manufacturing across multiple industries. MIQ has 2 locations, one in Cincinnati and one in Carlsbad, California. When we first saw Ready Robotics, we knew we had to get involved. Ready Robotics Forge OS makes intuitive robotic programming a reality.
Not only do we work with custom machine builders, we also work with our OEM partners to create reference designs that can be used by customers and integrators alike to more rapidly deploy automation powered by Forge OS. Beyond ensuring that peripheral hardware just works with Forge OS 5 for easy deployment by end users, these reference designs are another way we can make automation more accessible. I'd like to introduce Chris Swaim, our Director of Strategic Partnerships, to discuss our efforts on this front.
Hi there, I'm Chris Swaim and I'm coming to you from our Solutions Center here in Austin, Texas. Before joining Ready, I ran a robotic system integrator called Arsenal here in Austin. In addition to integration projects, we had also developed and sold application kits in the UR Plus ecosystem. When I first met Ben and learned about what the Ready team was working on, I knew we needed to be part of it. I joined the Ready team shortly thereafter to help Ready create collaborations with industrial automation OEMs, as well as provide resources to the larger community that makes it easier for anyone to deploy robots. This is an example of a sanding cell featuring a force compliance device and a dual robotic sanding head from PushCorp, all on a Yaskawa GP12 robot. The cell is integrated with and programmed through our new Forge version 5.0 software. We enable ease of use for anyone on any robot brand we support. Our goal with setting up these example solutions here in Austin is to break down the barriers of entry throughout the design and implementation of a robotic cell. Our marketplace, called Ready Market, allows the average engineer with no prior programming or controls experience to find examples of robotic solutions to their manufacturing challenges. A solution on the marketplace includes detailed CAD models, custom component information, and complete BOMs, all reducing the time required to design a complete robotic cell. One of the challenges that many peripheral and automation OEMs face is trying to create products that work seamlessly across robot brands. This often requires them a development cycle for each robot brand that they plan to support to create a robust product offering. By integrating with Forge OS, a peripheral OEM can go through a single development cycle to access all the robot brands that we support. This not only makes it easier for OEMs to access new markets faster, but it also gives robot OEMs access to more robotic solutions, making it easier to sell robots. Here's another example of a complete solution you can find on Ready Market. Forge OS is powering this entire cell, which includes a Keyence CVX camera system integrated through Ethernet IP, performing inspections. This includes measurement, OCR, surface defects, and presence-absence detection. Forge is powering this conveyor from QC Conveyors, and we've included an IGUS dress pack as well. Let's hear from some of our OEM partners.
Since 1993, our company has developed a wide range of robotic end-of-arm tooling focused on material removal applications such as grinding, sanding, polishing, and deburring. At PushCorp, we know how important it is for things to be simple and user-friendly. This is why we are so excited about Forge OS 5. The ability to easily create custom programs on any industrial robot is incredibly valuable to our customers. By decreasing the setup time and eliminating the difficulty associated with robot programs, automation will be more accessible to integrators and end users alike.
With Keyence and Ready, inspection tasks are simplified. And this is best showcased in the turnkey inspection solution that we've created with Ready. It consists of our camera on the end of a robot arm on a mobile base. Powered by Forge OS 5, our cameras can be put at multiple different locations around complex parts. So these types of solutions enable my sales team to go out and discuss solutions with our customer base. Solutions that are without brand barriers, solutions that can, quite frankly, be deployed by anyone. And this all hinges on Forge OS 5.
Now, many of you know ATI is a leading provider of robotic tooling, such as our robotic tool changer, and material removal products such as our robotic sander, and force torque sensors. But I'm here today to talk to you about Forge operating system from Ready Robotics. Now, Forge offers 4 distinct benefits. Number 1, the ability to move across robot platforms. Number 2, Forge is easy to use. This gives you the ability to allow anyone in your company to develop the software for these robots. Number 3, ATI has the ability to write tasks ourselves to make it easier to use, say, our robotic tool changers or our material removal products. 4, and final, Ready Robotics has provided force control software, and that makes it easier for, say, ATI's robotic force torque sensors to be used in a variety of applications.
Technology like Forge OS 5 represents opportunity. Opportunity for manufacturers to adopt automation with ease. Opportunity for end-of-arm tooling suppliers like Shunk to accelerate product development and availability. And opportunity to robot brands to accelerate product adoption. I've always thought about the most compelling part of working with end effectors is the fact that this is where the machine connects to the part. If you move further up the chain to the operating software, this is where the machine meets the human connection. With Forge OS 5 making it easier to program, the results can be as ambitious as the implementer. By unlocking access to the robot programming and enabling out-of-the-box control of robotics and hardware, Forge OS 5 has given us all the opportunity to work together to enhance robotic applications far beyond what was possible yesterday.
Forge OS 5 provides a robust platform for a wide range of developers. Front-end developers eager to create amazing experiences, to middleware developers who want to build powerful tools for others, to back-end developers creating drivers for their hardware. And since we're big believers in using what we created, we've built a set of native apps for Forge OS 5 focused on ease of use. So you don't need a degree in robotics to use a robot, much like you don't need a degree in computer science to use a computer. One of those apps is called Task Canvas. Please allow me to introduce Steve Iannelli, our product manager for Task Canvas, who is going to provide a quick overview of that app.
Fragmentation is holding back automation, and Forge OS addresses that. But if we're really going to unlock automation at levels that the industry needs, we also have to eliminate the programming barrier. Robots are just too hard to program. This is why we built Task Canvas, a user-friendly, no-code, human-readable programming application running on top of Forge OS 5. Task Canvas enables anyone to program robots, tooling, and other automation devices. No experience necessary, no PhD in robotics required. Let me show you what I mean. I'm running a short task here with a dual gripper setup and a pneumatic collet, mimicking a machine tending operation. Every device in this cell is receiving commands from Task Canvas, and all of those commands are organized into an easy-to-read and easy-to-follow flowchart. The beauty of Task Canvas is that it brings every device in my system together into a single programming language. The building blocks of my task are standardized representations of device functions, displayed in a way that anyone can read and understand. Let's step through this task and take a look. Every function in my task here is organized into a series of blocks. For example, this block right here opens my gripper. You can see it has the device name, blue gripper, tells me what it's going to perform, and if I step it, it'll open that gripper. It'll follow the flowchart to the next block, which says approach grid, and then on to the next block, grab grid. All of these blocks are organized into an easy to read, easy to understand, no-code flowchart. And what I really need to emphasize is that once I learn this programming language, any of the devices in these cells, I can program through Task Canvas. If it's this ABB robot, or the Yaskawa, or the Fanuc robot, they're all represented in the same programming language with the same flowchart and block interface. Once a programmer learns Task Canvas, they can program any device in the shop, any robot, any PLC, any gripper or end effector. It's one easy to understand, human readable programming language. And you can program all these devices and countless more.
As Steve mentioned, apps like Task Canvas are making robotics accessible to those with no robotics experience. They're enabling many manufacturers to deploy and benefit from automation for the first time. And they're enabling those with automation experience to accelerate and take full control of their automation. Forge OS 5 and the latest version of Task Canvas you just saw were built on years of experience and customer feedback from real users, ranging from tier 1 auto manufacturers to small machine shops. Forge OS 5 and its apps are the tool set to support the business and automation needs of any size customer. Now, let's hear from a few real manufacturers that have Forge OS deployed in their production environments.
Hypertherm is a fully employee-owned company that focuses on delivering industrial cutting solutions. We are very excited to be piloting the new Forge operating system within many of our manufacturing teams. It provides accessibility for many of our associates to quickly learn how to program the many brands of robots that we have on the manufacturing floor. In addition, we are incorporating it into our new employee training in our internal training institute that we have here at Hypertherm. We're very excited to see where this technology is going to go and believe it's going to make our processes much more efficient moving forward.
Alleycat Scientific here. I wanted a solution that was ready to deploy. I searched and found Ready Robotics. After receiving the unit, within 2 days, my programmer had it set up, had familiarized himself with the flowchart style programming. 10 days later, the robot and the lathe were operating smoothly as one cohesive unit. This increased my productivity by 150%. Now I can retask my skilled operators to more important jobs in the shop.
When we decided to integrate robots into our facility, we chose the Ready Robotics Forge system because of its simplicity and universal applications. Originally, we used this system to run a cobot and later changed to an industrial robot. The Forge system and Ready Robotics made this transition absolutely seamless. We were able to change not only from one type of robot to another, but from one manufacturer to another, with zero additional knowledge needed for general operation. Despite the massive differences between the robots, Forge remained exactly the same and allowed us to transition incredibly easily.
We're very proud of the results that our customers are achieving with Forge OS and Task Canvas. This is only possible with a fanatic focus on usability. We need to make robots of all brands vastly easier to use. The key to this is creating a common platform with a single user-friendly programming interface that doesn't change, whether you're programming a cobot with a 10-kilogram payload or an industrial arm capable of lifting 50 kilograms. But if we're going to upskill the next generation of robot users and solve the skilled labor shortage, we've also got to make it easier for anyone to learn to program robots. This is why we've partnered with Unity to build a virtual environment for people to use Forge OS without having an actual robot. I'd like to introduce my co-founder and Ready's Chief Innovation Officer, Kel Guerin, to share more on that initiative.
You've just heard from our customers and partners about what you can do with Forge OS and how Forge OS makes it truly easy to use any brand of robot. However, we understand that not everyone has access to a robot, and that's why we're building a robot simulator to work alongside Forge OS. Built on the Unity game engine, which powers popular video games like Assassin's Creed and League of Legends, this app lets you program a variety of virtual robots in an engaging, physics-based environment using Forge OS 5. Let me show you what I mean. So this is our robot simulator sitting alongside Forge OS 5. The robot simulator provides several different robot environments, each designed to teach a specific robot skill. So let's start with the pick and place level, and we'll show you what this looks like. So here's the pick and place level. As you can see, we've got a couple of parts here that we can interact with, and we've got our robot. This is a Yaskawa GP8, and we've got a suction gripper on the end here. And all of this is controllable through Forge. So if I actually go over to Task Canvas and load the task for the pick and place level here, when I run this, you'll see that the robot actually starts moving. And that's because the building blocks in Forge, in Task Canvas, are actually controlling both the simulated robot and the simulated suction gripper so that the robot can manipulate the parts. But you're doing all of the programming through Forge OS. So once you've mastered the basics of a simple level like this, we can get a little bit more complex. So let's look at the machine tending level. So this is a similar level in that you're going to be manipulating parts with the robot, but as you can see, there's more hardware, and this is more realistic for what would actually be in a robot work cell. You've got part presentation here, you've got an actual machine tool that the robot's going to interact with, and if we go back over to Task Canvas here in Forge and load the machine tending level, you'll actually see that something else is going on. So if I start this task, again, we've got our ABB robot, it's manipulating these parts, but it's also going to open and close the door of the mill. And the building blocks in Forge are what is causing that action. So very similar to a real work cell where Forge would open and close the door to the mill, maybe open and close the vise, basically control all of these different devices. In the simulation, we've built out a really compelling experience where you can learn how to not only program the robot, but also all of the other devices that you would use in an actual robot work cell. You can see that ForgeOS and Task Canvas are the easiest way to program any robot, and our simulator is the most accessible way to learn this incredible tool in a compelling educational application. We also think that it will be a great way for anyone to easily test drive ForgeOS and get a feel for how easy it can be to program any specific robot brand. And because you're using the actual ForgeOS interface to program all of those simulated robots, anything you learn will directly translate into a real production work cell once you're working with a physical system. The levels in the simulator are also designed to work hand in hand with our Ready Academy video content available online, where you can follow along with more than 40 hours of educational videos and labs. Paired with a cross-brand intuitive programming platform like ForgeOS 5, we believe this robot simulator has the potential to help manufacturers rapidly upskill the next generation of Industry 4.0 professionals to design and program their own automation. ForgeOS and our robot simulator are poised to unlock automation at never-before-seen scale, solve the skills gap that is holding back manufacturing, and enable a whole new class of empowered robot users.
Apps will be essential for the robotics industry to grow exponentially, and for the first time, there is a platform and an SDK that can support the apps that the market needs. Let's dive a little deeper on this with Josh Seablum, our VP of Engineering, and the man who led the development efforts for ForgeOS 5.
I've spent the last 2 decades leading embedded software teams building mission-critical products in the avionics industry. Within that role, I specifically was passionate about building software that targets other developers. So when I talked to Ready and they wanted to build an operating system for the automation space that targets both internal and external developers, it was a perfect fit for me. ForgeOS 5 fundamentally is built on Linux, C++, and Qt 5.15, and our user interface is based on Qt's QML technology. I'll start with devices and our native applications, such as Task Canvas, our no-code automation programming environment. ForgeOS at its heart is a device-centric operating system, and this is an area that we have been very busy with building support for all of the initial devices in our launch. We have made it possible for third parties to build custom device drivers in Forge. And beyond that, also extend our front-end applications to allow developers to control how the device is configured in Forge, to build a custom control panel for the device, and then ultimately to be able to build custom blocks in Task Canvas. Beyond device support, third-party developers will be able to build custom applications, similar to what we see in the mobile space, and those applications will be built on top of all of the existing device abstraction layers within ForgeOS 5. So, if you have a custom software application out there that runs on one robot brand, for example, we can help you open the addressable marketplace for that application to all of the robot brands supported in Forge. The Forge SDK beta opens in June. You can apply for this now on our website. You will be able to download a virtual machine image that is pre-configured to run Forge with all of our SDK tools pre-installed. In addition, we will also have a hardware kit that comes complete with an IPC and one of our pendants for more production-ready testing. Now, let's hear from some developer partners about building on the ForgeOS 5 platform.
At Agate, we have been developing robot plugins, collaborative robot plugins, for the last 3 years, mainly with Universal Robots, but also for a couple of different other cobot manufacturers. We have been developing everything from grippers to safety scanners to dispensers and pretty much everything else hardware related to a robot. With the Forge platform, which we have followed with great interest, we now have the ability to develop a plugin for not only one collaborative robot, but for multiple at once.
Forge OS 5 from Ready Robotics is a perfect complement to Octopus in a few different aspects, since we both have similar missions but attack it from different angles. Similarly, how Octopus makes the programming process incredibly easy for users to create new programs in an offline environment, Forge OS 5 brings the ease of use to the shop floor for deployment on the physical robot and touch-ups of programs if needed.
Hi, I'm Peter Winston. I'm the CEO of ICS. At ICS, we create custom software for industrial automation applications. We really pride ourselves in making complex things simple to use. We do this by using best-in-class usability experts combined with great software development team. When we're creating an application that involves robotics, getting the motion of the robot just right is the hard part. When I heard about the Ready Robotics Forge OS 5 platform, I was really excited because it takes away the complexity of having to understand how each vendor's device works differently.
Hello, my name is Michael. I lead business development at Native Robotics. We are a software company and we create apps for robots. We very quickly understood that talking to different robots is no simple task, and this is why we are so excited about Forge OS 5. First, it will enable us to build apps for many robot brands at once without worrying for compatibility. Second, we can dramatically cut our development time, focusing on the important features which our customer needs instead of dealing with robot communication issues. We are excited to build apps that will be available on Ready Market and look forward to working together with Ready Robotics.
In 2019, 33,000 robots were sold in the US. In contrast, automakers sold more than 17 million vehicles in America, while PC shipments surpassed 260 million units, and phones were close to 300 million units. How can we enable a similar expansion in the robotics market? How can we make the pie bigger? Automation needs to be simpler to access, simpler to apply, simpler to connect, and simpler to run. Hi, my name is Juan Aparicio, and I am the VP of Product at Ready Robotics. The Forge OS 5 platform is the first robotics ecosystem that is hardware independent, where advancements in software, machine learning, and artificial intelligence can be applied to every robot brand at scale. By using modular and modern software architectures that abstract the underlying hardware, suddenly the biggest developer market on earth gets unlocked, opening the door for non-traditional roboticists to innovate in this space. We want companies focusing on the part of robotics that creates innovation, not data logging, not making components communicate to each other, but the golden nuggets that really provide value to customers. More flexible picking, machine tending, palletizing, autonomous painting, sanding, you name it. The Forge OS 5 platform is built from the ground up to facilitate third-party development of automation apps. Apps that extend across all major robot brands and impact robotic automation at scale, in manufacturing and beyond. This is transformative, it is revolutionary, and it's true today. This realization convinced me to join Ready last March after a decade working for an automation giant. And I couldn't wait longer to tell the world what the team has built and to interact with all the growing number of partners that want to join us in our journey to unleash the power of automation.
As you've seen, we're serious about making robots easy to use and easy to learn across all the top brands. We're out to make automation accessible to everyone. As you've heard, Forge OS is already proven on production floors, helping manufacturers of all shapes and sizes boost productivity with automation. Forge OS 5 will unleash a new era for robotics. With a single software platform for industrial automation, easy-to-use apps like Task Canvas, and a growing ecosystem of partners, together we will make automation accessible to everyone.
We see a future where OEMs are able to sell more of their products, where partners and machine builders can develop solutions faster, where integrators can take on more projects because they can deploy faster and empower the customers to own their own automation. And for the first time, we are thrilled to empower developers to build software applications that solve important problems and can scale across any robot.
This is truly an open platform for automation. The common set of APIs we have created enable a platform that stretches across brands. This is not just about making robots and automation easier to use. It is about igniting innovation that will make robotic automation accessible at previously unseen scale. With Forge OS 5, we are unlocking robotics for manufacturing and beyond.
We are so excited to see what you are going to build with Forge OS and the type of tasks that you'll automate with it. We'd like to now end with something special that we built using our platform. Before we wrap up for today, we have one more demo we'd like to show you that truly showcases the power of Forge OS 5. For the first time ever, 3 robots from 3 different brands, all working together, all controlled by one instance of Forge OS 5. Thank you very much for joining us today.